well, later we'll get to the transfer itself, but start with just your acclimation to West Virginia. What is it taking to get used to? How different is this defense from what you were running at Arizona?
The defensive scheme is a lot more complex. The defensive line does a little bit more moving, and that's really the big difference. But coming from Arizona, I played a 4-2-5 scheme before. I've played so many different schemes, so it wasn't really hard for me to come in and adjust.
Next question is from Kevin Kinder.
Tony, right now, do you think you're better against the run or against the pass? And take us through your interception, what you saw, your drop, and then did you think you had a chance to go all the way with it?
I did think I had a chance to go all the way with it. I wish I did. I'm still regretting it, but honestly, I think I'm well rounded. I try to this offseason. I tried to focus on getting better at block shedding and actually recognizing pattern schemes so I can get better with my pass drops. So I guess it paid off.
Okay, we'll go to John Antonic.
Yeah, curious, Tony. You mentioned some of the complexities of this defense. What are, in lay terms, what are some of the differences between what you did at Arizona and what they're asking you to do here?
Well, me as itself, I played Mike linebacker here. At Arizona, I played Will linebacker, so that was a big difference. And like I said, we just do it's just a little bit more complex. The defense does. We do a lot more as far as movement, as far as the D line, the back end, and everywhere. You don't really know what coverage is coming.
Go ahead, Greg.
So the transfer. Walk us through. Why did you decide you wanted to look for something new when you made that decision? Who'd you look at, and why ultimately West Virginia?
Um, Ultimately, I decided when I was back home with coronavirus, legitimately first started. It was just a family decision. Me and my father was talking about it all the time, and I just decided it was best for me to move on and try to go to a different team to help my career. And I ended up at West Virginia. I loved the school. I had a great relationship with Coach Adaya already because he recruited me to the University of Arizona, and there it was.
We'll go to Cody Nesper.
Hey Tony, obviously he hasn't gotten his waiver to play this year, but did transferring over with Scotty Young, I mean, does that help the transition? And obviously you mentioned you already knew Coach Adai.
Yeah, I talked to Scotty before I even thought about coming here, obviously, because he was already here. So while I was at Arizona, he had already showed me, he had already told me about the team atmosphere and everything going on. And I already had a little grasp of everything that was going on around here. So that actually did make the decision easier.
Next up will be Sean Manning.
Tony, you mentioned your prior relationships and that you love the school and everything, but do you look at schematics of a defense when you're looking to transfer? Like, did you intentionally be like, yeah, I could really be successful in this scheme? And also, did you want to play Mike? Is that a big reason for why you left? Did you think maybe your skill set would fit better there?
No, that wasn't the reason I left to play Mike linebacker. It was just like you said, to get into a better defensively, schematically, that'll help my skill set. Also, I just felt like I needed to. It was time to move on. Time for a change.
To you, Kevin.
Hi, Tony. I wanted to follow up on that interception. Can you take us through it, from the call, what your assignment was, what you saw, and then, finally what you felt when you saw the ball coming at you?
I was just dropping over the quarterback. I read his eyes, and his eyes, he tried to look me off, and I seen a dig coming right back over top of me. So I slid underneath, and there it was from there.
Back to you, Greg.
So I think I get this right. You're from Las Vegas, right? That's where
Yes.
you went to high school. Played at Arizona, so you got a lot of desert in you. Had you ever been east before? What do you think of West Virginia? I mean, it's a whole different atmosphere, climate, and everything else from where you're from.
Well, I like nature. So coming out in West Virginia, it wasn't a real problem for me because I like the trees. I like the atmosphere here everywhere. I don't like. I mean, it was good. It's good to get away from the heat every now and then. I'm expecting the cold coming up soon. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that though.
Go ahead, Cody.
So Tony, it's the Big 12 has maybe more than its fair share of really good linebackers. It seems like every team has at least one, and obviously that's your position. So from your perspective, what does a really good linebacker add to a defense?
A good linebacker just adds really a good leadership to a defense. A linebacker, what he's supposed to do is set the front of the defense and handle mostly everything in the front end of the defense. And with that, a linebacker, you got to make most of the plays beyond the defensive lineman. So being a linebacker at West Virginia, you have to, especially Mike linebacker, I had to make all the calls as far as looking to the sideline and finding out the down and distance and finding out the play call and then relay it to the defensive lineman, and also I have to make sure they're set. So it's a big responsibility playing linebacker.
And we'll go to you, Mike Kazaza.
Hey, Tony, help me out here with your background for a second. I know you know Scotty, but Bryce Brand was committed to Arizona too, and I think he and Scotty know one another. Do you know him as well?
Yeah, I knew Bryce. Me and Bryce actually committed to U of A together at one point.
We'll go to Chuck Landon. Go ahead, Chuck.
Hey, what's it like playing middle linebacker behind the Stills brothers?
It's great. I mean, you know automatically that one of them's gonna get a double team every play, so that's a chip off my shoulder. I don't really got to worry about linemen climbing to me as much, and then it's just they make plays. They're playmakers. So having those two big guys in front of me is great.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, too. If I can follow up on the Brand thing, we haven't seen Scotty or Bryce yet, and you know one better than the other, but you know them both. I don't know your thoughts on how they might add to this defense that you're getting to know, and then your debut, you played 25 snaps and had 10 tackles, which is quite a ratio. I'm guessing you're a quick learner. Does that have to do with playing so many defenses at Arizona?
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing football all my life, so catching on to defensive schemes and everything like that hasn't been too hard for me. So just switching the position and learning new terminology was the biggest difference for me.